Greetings, I'm Stanley L. for the American Dream. We'll hear from our guest in just a moment.
This is WGLS Rowan Radio.
And welcome again to the American Dream. Your host, Stanley L. And today I'm here with the one and only Carlton Crispin.
Yes.
How you doing, Carlton?
Oh, I am great. There's a beautiful day out here, and spring's finally upon us, I think.
Hey, man, I think everybody's getting spoiled.
Yeah.
They're so ready to go. I know I was. This morning was kind of like chilly, and I had the big coat on, and then all of a sudden I'm throwing it down and going, wow. Why did I bring this coat today? Because it was cold this morning.
Mm-hmm.
But, this flowers are popping up, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
What do you call it? Dogwoods, I think it is, with the little white flowers on them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything. And then there's the, is it daffodils? I think it's daffodils that are popping up. Anyway, yeah.
Well, you're out there in nature, man. You see all that kind of stuff going on.
Yep.
So it must be cool. Yep. Let's start talking about what some recent activity that we had going on this weekend. The Notes of Hope did their thing. Leli Gibbons and her group. And you participated in that.
Yes, I participated in the Friday, I'm not sure what you'd call it, but it was kind of like a precursor to the actual event. And I was working with Unsung Heroes, and they did like a sort of special type thing. This time we did, it was kind of like, I thought we were going to do the on-site thing where it's kind of like interviews. But it turned out to be like an extra special long show, actually. So it ended up being, I think, about an hour or more or so. And we were actually interviewing two, they're both Grammy Award nominated music artists. I can't remember if they were both or it was just one of them, but either way, they were really nice people, and everything started a little bit late because that's how shows work, but in the end, turned out really well.
Good. And we just had somebody walk in the studio. We're going to make a little adjustment, though. We're going to put you over here if you don't mind, and Carlton do his thing over there, and yeah, how are you doing?
I am so sorry I was running late.
Oh, no. You're on time as far as we're concerned. You're on the air right now. So
I know. Hello, everybody.
And your name?
My name is Kim Warren. I'm the owner of Kim S. Warren Productions.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a little bit more about you now. Tell me, Kim, give me some more about you.
Just the person?
Yes.
So I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a playwright. I work at a bank by day, and I'm a writer by night.
So you must know about our Right Now event coming up for authors and publishers then.
I do see Kaylin post a few things every now and then. You have it like every few months or every month?
Twice a year we usually do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when we have you're going to be coming out now. And I'm asking now.
What's the date?
April 13th, I believe it is. It's Saturday.
It may be. I got to get the information.
I'm putting you on the spot because you're on the air now. I'm taking advantage. I want to get that commitment now. Everybody heard she's going to be there. No. I'll make sure you get the information. I'm kind of joking, but I'm serious too.
Yes, I understand. I need all the information.
Yeah. But, okay. So how long have you been writing?
So I've been writing for quite a while. I feel like as long as I can remember, I always scribbled in a notebook. But professionally, I say about going on 5 years. I just started my company 2 years ago. Okay.
And you say professionally. What does that mean?
So that means like with my corporation, with me running everything, and essentially starting Kim S. Warren Productions. So I was just writing leisurely before with the church ministry, but now it's more than just a hobby.
Okay, good. And you said you started your business 2 years ago.
Actually, it was the beginning of 2018, January 1st.
Okay. So you're in your second year.
Yes.
Okay. How's it going?
It's going great. It really is. So this is my first weekend run. I usually just do one show, like 2 shows one day, but I decided to make another jump and do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show at the Ritz Theater, and it's going really, really well. In fact, I might end up with my first sold out show, so that's pretty interesting. So it's really great because I feel like community art in New Jersey isn't really built up as much as Philly or New York, so there's a hunger for it. So I think that's why there's a great support for it.
Now, you mentioned the show. Now, tell us more about that.
So the name of the show is Conundrum, and it's debuting at the Ritz Theater this weekend, April 5th through 7th, and it's about the matriarch of the family passing, and the family comes together to celebrate her birthday. And while they're under the same roof, they begin to share and notice different secrets about each other that they never knew before. And we kind of watch as different people unwind and see if they're able to repair without the matriarch being there.
Ah, very interesting. And this is a play?
It is. It's a stage play.
Stage play.
Yes.
Whoa. Yeah.
So is that you said you wrote for a church or something? Is this through the church or anything, or is this different?
This is different. So when I had first started, I started writing for a youth group, and it was kind of to give them something different to do. They would just go to church services, and, you kind of got to keep young people engaged. So I would write skits, and then I realized that I was kind of good at it. It was just like a fluke. And so I started writing with them, and then as I grew, I kind of wanted a little bit more creative control and diversity. I like talking about real things. And sometimes you can't. I understand that with it being behind a church. So I took a step out, and that's when I began to write. And so this is different. This is something that I want to do as a career, and it's something that I plan to build on, as well as building other businesses and brands off of it.
Mm-hmm. So you're doing the playwriting, you're producing, authoring as well?
Yes. So my first book finally is in editing. So hopefully that can be released soon. The process is a little more tedious than I thought it would be. I thought it would be like, hey, write this and that's it. So hopefully it should be out soon. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to finally. And that's a little bit more of the fiction, African American fiction. Novel, and it's where you kind of see more of the woman dynamic and the struggles. The main character's name is Mia, and you see her different struggles and how she tries to balance being the strong businesswoman, but also the female side, and all those different dynamics.
Yeah, well, I do understand. We just came through Women's History Month, and we had oh my gosh, 2-3 women every show for the past.
Right. So you've heard about it.
Yeah. Well, I've been hearing about it anyway because I have a lot of female friends. I'm a big advocate for women and stuff like that. But, knowing that some of the issues of today, they haven't really changed much. I think more than anything else is that women are more outspoken,
right,
more deliberately, moving the cause, if you will.
Yeah, definitely. I think that a lot of things were swept under the rug, and that there's a platform, and it's more understood, the different struggles that we share. And I think there's unity in us telling our struggles and helping other women. So
with you and being a playwright and so forth, I mean, you found you had a talent, but what actually made you want to take that next step to make it a full-fledged business?
So when I was writing at the church, like, people would come up to me and they would say, like, wow, this helped me. I never thought of this situation. Wow, I can identify with this, but I didn't think about it this type of way. And I was just like, isn't this regular for everybody else? Like, I thought that this was normal. And that's what made me think about it and pursuing it as a career, is the ability to help people. You have hundreds of people coming to a show, and they're thinking they're just going to be entertained, but they're leaving with a message, something that can not only help them, but their family. And the great thing about it is that people of all ages come. So it's not just, young people, it's people from 13 to 60 that are sitting in the audience. It's men, it's women, it's all different races, all different career paths. And I love that. I love being able to help people.
I have a question for you about just that. I mean, we have access today to technology that kind of puts your stuff out there, but the real live engagement of a stage and an audience, how do you see that being more powerful or less powerful than what the social media kind of stuff does?
I think social media sometimes can be a shield, and it's not that interaction. I think that when you're in the stage environment, you get to feel what the actor is portraying. You get to see the tears. You get to see the interaction, and not only for the actors, but for the audience. So when the actors on stage, they hear the people laughing. They hear the awe and they can hear that people agree with them. They understand that place. So I think it's a give and take relationship. Whereas with social media, sometimes it's just like scroll, 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 scroll. You know what I mean? Or do they like me? Do they not like me? It's kind of that. It's not really like a, give and take. We're both helping each other. So I love that dynamic. I love hearing the audience because they are not quiet at my shows. Like, they have a whole bunch to say. Like, I'm like, oh, no, she didn't. Oh, no, he didn't. So I love to hear their feedback.
So sorry. How is it, or how different or how similar is it writing a play versus writing a book? Because like with a play, you're going to see the people, like you just said, reading it, or not reading it, but experiencing it. Whereas a book, you just put it out there in some regards.
It is very different, and I thought that it was the same. But so what you're saying is true. When you write a play, I kind of have I call it the black and white. I have them on paper, but then I get to see the people, and then they fill in the color. And that's what I tell them all the time, is they're my color. But with a book, you kind of got to step back yourself and become the person. Like, a lot of things that the character Mia does, I would never do. But I had to let go of my ambitions and let that character be who they were. And for a while, I was struggling with that because I come from a Christian background, very modest. And so I began to put limitations around the character. And so I was like, well, this is never going to be great if I keep putting limitations on every single character I write about it. And not only that, it was the length of the book. So I had started with just 40,000 words, and the editor came back and said, no, you need 80. And so I had to dig even deeper into who this person was. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know that was there. Wow. And I had to create even more of a backstory. So I feel like I know Mia like my best friend. So it's really different, but it's really great on both sides.
Right. And the book will be a play, or is the book going to stand alone?
The book is just going to stand alone. I think I just want to separate the two, and I want to speak to different audiences. So I feel like not everybody who will watch a play would necessarily get into the book, and not everybody who would read the book would necessarily get into a play, because the book is not necessarily a Christian book per se. It's just about an African-American female. So I want to speak to different audiences. I don't want to necessarily block myself in.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you've discovered the power of words in different ways, and that they can be used to influence people. That's what it sounds like. The reason I say this is because, back in the day, TV was a big deal, then social media pops up, but it's still not as effective. So social media and making that connection and then being able to gauge people as you experience with plays, for example. And of course, a book, you're anonymous. And you can go as far into the world of that book as you possibly want to go, and back out of it. And that's an influence too, because you actually fill in a person's mind with a whole bunch of details, and their imagination just kicks out. I mean, are you conscious that you have stepped into another realm of influence?
I do. I love the power of words. I love to have conversation, even with other things like as far as a ministry aspect, I'm a minister as well. So I have that avenue of words as well to encourage people. So I like the diversity in each one, and I think there's power in each one. So I love that I get to do it all the time.
Great. I have a different question for you now, and this is traditional to the show. What is your American dream?
My American dream is to be happy. And I know that's kind of like, a blanket thing, but it's to be happy in whatever I'm doing. And I feel like some people may say it's to be rich, it's to have a big house. But a lot of people have that and they're really depressed. So I want to be content in whatever state that I am and genuinely be happy. That's my dream.
Well said. Now, do you have events coming up? What's going on with what's your next big project beyond the book?
So I have the play coming up this weekend, the book, and we also work on different events called monologue nights. So we don't have a tentative date yet, but we have that event coming up. And I also launched a t-shirt line called Clothe. And so we're launching that this weekend as well. So we're creating different brands and different avenues to spread inspiration.
So you're really kind of stretching, I'm going to call it your ministry.
Yeah.
Is that proper for me to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want to talk about that even more?
So I just feel like we're all here for a purpose. And I feel like a lot of people go into life with untapped potential because they're either scared or they either have fear. And so I like to say I want to die empty. I want to use everything I have to help people. And so I'll do training, I'll do classes, I'll do plays, I'll, help choirs, ministries, whatever I can do to help someone else. Because what's the point of having all of this in me if I keep it there? I wouldn't even know what's buried deep in me. So that's
you know what they say, right? The more you give, the more you receive. So
Yeah.
you can end up with a net benefit, probably.
Yeah, it is, because honestly, if you would have talked to me 10 years ago and said I would be here doing this, I wouldn't have believed you. So I feel like as I've given to people, they've given me confidence to go deeper and to do even more.
I love what you said about leaving empty. My way of saying is, I say this to myself, obviously, but to live a full life. Which means to give everything I have. Doesn't matter what I get back. I can just give it all. People would question me on it. I said, so long as I have it to give, who cares?
Right.
So you're discovering a lot about yourself in this process then.
Yeah, I really am. I'm learning what it is to be a leader and a good leader, because some people don't know how to handle, being up here or having a lot of people that work with them. So I'm learning what it is to be, a good director, a good writer, a good leader, a good person, to inspire my team, not to be selfish and just take. Like I, ask people who are next to me, like, what's your goal? What's your dreams? What's your ambitions? To try to build them up too. And I try to create a space where they can, go to the next level as well.
Good for you. On that note, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to The American Dream. I now present to you Beyond the Barriers with Stanley L.
Whether you're raising a family, advancing a career, building a business on a mission from God, victory lies beyond the barriers. Within the atom is the electron, also known as cosmic light substance. It permeates throughout space. It exists in and throughout all life. It is the flame of existence because no form can exist without it. The electron is the spark, the flame, the substance, and the essence of the love from God's own heart. It pours forth throughout creation from the center of the universe, the great central sun. It is the manifestation of the sacred fire. Electrons are drawn together to create the atom. Its force field is the magnet of attraction that draws to itself its own likeness. This process of manifestation occurs by conscious command. There's always an individualized consciousness commanding manifestation or drawing together the universal cosmic light substance to create manifestation. This is the use of the sacred fire. The sacred fire is pure and perfect. It dissolves all unlike itself, and nothing less than purity and perfection can ever exist within it. It is the substance of creation. I am the strength, the courage, the power to move forward steadily through all experiences, whatever they may be, and to remain joyous and uplifted, built with peace and harmony at all times, by the glorious presence which I am.
The American Dream, reality on Rowan Radio, 89.7 WGLS FM, with host Stanley L.
I believe of the United States of America as a government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived from the consent of the governed, a democracy in a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies, everywhere, forever.
The 18th principle of liberty states, the unalienable rights of the people are most likely to be preserved if the principles of government are set forth in a written constitution.
And that concludes the American Dream. I'd like to thank you, our listeners, for sharing your time and attention. I'd like to thank our wonderful guests here. Kim, you're a powerhouse.
Or just Kim.
Well, you do have some things you want to share with us before we sign off, don't you?
Yes, so I do want to let you guys know that Conundrum is showing at the Ritz Theater this weekend, April 5th through 7th, at 915 White Horse Pike, Haddon Township, New Jersey. Tickets are $25 if you go to the Ticket Leap today and $30 at the door. You could go to Kim S. Warren Productions for more information.
Good. And you're going to give us some tips for writers? Is that what Carlton requested?
Yep.
So what I would basically say is just trust your gift, create opportunities for yourself, and don't second guess what you have. Don't listen to the naysayers. Always listen to the ones who are in your corner supporting you. You could do this. You got it. And I'm rooting for you.
Shout outs.
Shout out to my family, my friends, the cast of Conundrum. You guys are amazing. You guys are going to kill it. My assistant director and all the team of Kim S. Warren Productions.
All right, Carlton.
Sounds good. All right. This has been The American Dream on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. As always, have a great week, everyone, and happy spring.